It all started last weekend, when I went to drop off some stuff at my grandparents' house. I thought it would be a quick in-and-out visit, but instead, my grandma knocked my entire life upside down, and I still don't know what to do about it. Grandma sat me down looking really weird, like she had something stuck in her throat. I asked if everything was okay, and she just stared at me for a second. Then out of nowhere, she says, "Listen, honey, your sister isn't your sister. She's your mom." I swear my brain just stopped working. I sat there thinking she was joking, but she wasn't. She said my mom got pregnant with me when she was only 16, and to keep things quiet, they all decided it would be best if everyone thought I was her little brother. My head was spinning. I asked her if my sister knew, and she just nodded. Like, yeah, of course she knew. Then I asked about the woman I thought was my mom. The one who raised me, the one I cried to when I scraped my knee, the one who packed my lunches and came to all my school plays, the one I've called Mom my entire life. Grandma just shrugged and said she left. That's when I lost it. I asked, "What do you mean she left? Like, how do you just leave your whole family and never come back?" Grandma said, well, she wasn't really family, so I guess she didn't think it was a big deal. Apparently, the woman I thought was my mom for my entire life was some woman my grandparents hired to act as my mom. Until I was old enough to not ask questions, they had paid this random woman to raise me like I was some kind of long-term babysitting gig, and then a few years ago, she just decided she was done and left without a word. I swear, I felt my whole body shaking. I asked Grandma how they could do this to me, how they could lie to me my whole life and pay someone to pretend to be my mom, and she said they did what they had to do for the family, and I just needed to move on. But I couldn't move on. I asked her about my real dad, the one I've never met, the one I didn't even know existed until 2 minutes ago. She looked at me really uncomfortably and said, "My mom never wanted to tell me about him because it was complicated. I told her to stop playing games and tell me everything, and that's when she hit me with the next bomb. She said there are 2 men who might be my real dad, and neither of them knows I exist." I just sat there like my soul left my body. Apparently one guy was some high school boyfriend, but they broke up right before she found out she was pregnant, and the other one was her mom's married boss. And yes, you heard that, right? Her mom's married boss. So now I've got 2 possible dads, one who is out there living his life totally unaware, and the other who might not even remember he hooked up with my mom. I asked Grandma if she had ever tried to track them down, and she just waved me off saying it wasn't worth the trouble. I swear I thought my head was going to explode. I drove straight to my sister's house. I walked right in, no knocking, no texting, just stood there staring at her, waiting for her to tell me the truth. She gave me this tired look like she had been waiting for this moment her whole life. She didn't even try to deny it. She just nodded and said, "Yeah, it's true, I'm your mom." I asked her why. Why would she let me grow up thinking she was my sister and let some stranger play the role of mom? She said she thought it was better this way, that it was supposed to protect me from knowing how messed up everything really was. And that's when she hit me with one final twist. She said one of the men who might be my real dad has been in my life this whole time. I felt like I got punched in the stomach. She said it's Grandpa's old friend Rick, the guy who always came around on holidays and gave me cash for birthdays like he was some fun uncle. Apparently, he's one of the 2 men who might actually be my father, and he doesn't have a clue. Now, I don't even know who I am anymore. Do I try to find out if Rick is my dad? Do I track down my mom's high school boyfriend and tell him he might have a grown child running around? Or do I just let it go and keep pretending everything is normal? I don't even know what normal means anymore. What do you think?